Hey, what's up? You guys made it. My name is Ahmad Garland. I'm the creator of the Balcony Tapes, and welcome to Breaking Bread, episode one, resilience. I'm really excited to be here today, and I hope you are too. So let's get into it. Resilience. What does it mean? Well, we've all heard different terms and different definitions for it, but the one that I want to use today is being able to go through something that is difficult, no matter the level of severity, and being able to weather that storm and then come out on the end of it whole, and whole as in as whole as you can be, because some things are tough, and real things that attack us or things that we get into do change us. As a mentor always told me a long time ago, pressure either does one or two things: either it bursts pipes or makes diamonds. So resilience, I want you to think of resilience as a plank, right? So this is bordered here right in front of us, and it is bending with the weight of life and other types of things that are pressing against us. And the resilience, you think like this little like upside down U, or not, no, not upside down U, upside down bell curve, and as it looks to you, is you bending but not breaking. And because you're bending and not breaking, that's the resilience of you. Now, you're going to break a little bit. There'll be pressure cracks here and there, and there'll be times where you feel like you've snapped all together, but you haven't. Because just because you snap and have pressure cracks doesn't mean that you are broken by any stretch of the imagination. And that is the design of resilience. So you're like, okay, Maud, cool, we got that out the way. Yeah, we did. Now let's apply that to, well, the workplace. There is so many different scenarios and situations in work where you're like, okay, I got to grind this project out. I got to talk to this person. I call this person. I send this email. Got to read this email. Oh man, did I go on PTO? How far am I behind? And you're getting bombarded with these last minute taskers. You're getting bombarded with taskers that were before, but you couldn't get to them because of work and last minute meetings and teams and the world's going crazy. Or if you're more on the operations side, and you have to go out there and check on this employee and that employee, and then someone spilled something, or something went down, or someone forgot to send something. All this insane stuff, right? I know, right? It's a lot. Just even talking about it, I can feel the anxiety. So, not only as a boss, but also as just a worker, employee, how do we use that resilience that we just defined to be able to navigate through these situations? Here's my, here's my take on it. Being able to take those things and living by one rule that I live by, well, two rules I live by, to be honest with you. One, closest alligator to the boat, which means what? What problem is the most impactful and closest to my boat, with the boat is me as a human being or you, that I need to tackle to be able to get myself enough standoff so that I can continue my workday? Find out what it is and tackle it. Now, why is that important? Because once you tackle it, you'll start to put things in priority order. And you'll start to realize that the problems that are arising aren't as difficult and or as pressing as you once thought they were. And what does it allow you to do? Well, it allows you to breathe. Like, okay, I can do this. I'm going to focus on this, this, and this. And then everything else will flow. And then I'll tackle this, this, and this. And what you're doing there with that time management, that priority management, is that you're building resilience for the next time. Because as we all know here, we're all professionals. There's always something. There's always a dumpster fire coming. There's always some last minute meeting. There's always a last minute tasker from a boss or someone else like that. We already know these things, right? So what you're doing, the reps, you're building reps. Got to build the reps. Building reps in the professional world, also in life, is what builds you that resilience. Second thing that I do live by, which really helps me out when it comes to resilience, and I have a lot of things going on, and I'm not really sure how to tackle them, or I'm like, oh man, is this. Ready? Is it life or death? I know, weird, right? Like, hey, Ahmad, like we're in the work zone. Like, what do you mean is it life or death? Well, what I mean is this. If we do not get this certain thing done, is it life or death? 10 times out of 10, it's not. Now you're like, well, Ahmad, like I don't have your background, and everything's, life and death for you is literal. For us, it's maybe, there's my promotion or there's my bonus. Hear me out. Hear me out. Ready? What you're doing, if it sacrifices your mental, emotional, and spiritual health, that can be life or death for you. If you have to grind something out, that's one thing. But if you're doing it to the effect of where you're going to hurt yourself in the process, I'm not talking about suicide, but I'm talking about just normal degradation of your well being. Choose you. Now, I'm not saying skip projects, I'm not saying skip things, but find the time to take a breather, take a little tactical knee, 5-10 minutes, if that's walking out the office, if you work from home, walking around the block really quick, eating your favorite food, watching a clip of your favorite show, you know what I mean? To reset your mind, to give you some standoff so that you can actually execute what you need to do. The reason why I'm saying all this stuff is because you're doing these little disciplines, right? That I talked about a while back. It allows you to build the reps, as I said earlier, to gain the resilience to what? To succeed in what you're doing. So try that. Remember, closest alligator to the boat, is it life or death? Now, just for the sake of sake, because I have a lot of friends and they're like, hey, Ahmad, what if it is life or death? Well, if it's life or death, then handle that situation and choose life, as in make sure no one's going to get hurt or hit with a forklift or, I don't know, fall off a ladder. Or better yet, hey, if we don't get this done right now, this person might be able to go on PTO because it's an emergency thing and they need to get it done. But if they leave right now, we're not going to be able to do the project. So get a quick debrief. Hey, I know you're not in the best space right now. What's happening? How do we work this out before you go vanish so that the rest of us don't crumble in the process? Right? Fair. So, hope that helps. See you guys next week. I'll actually see you guys soon at that. Cheers.